I'd like to greet all human beings all around the world with a universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor religious beliefs may be. It doesn't matter if you to proclaim riches to the proclaim poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't even matter if you to proclaim toughest to the proclaim weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you like my YouTube channel, like me, or not. It doesn't even matter if you dark-skinned or light-skinned. I greet all of you all with the same universal greetings, with peace and the blessings of God be with you. You can be my family, friend, or my proclaimed enemy, and the same goes. Peace and the blessings of God be with you. Today happened to be Monday, October the 14th, 2019. The time being about 5:19 p.m. Here in one of my favorite spots again. Y'all can see my buddies. I don't attack them, they don't attack me. Look how they lined up. They lined up like soldiers. You see what I'm saying? You have battles in all these other different countries. Look at them. They lined up. They by the waters. Let's go over here. We got 57 going, I-57 highway, or Interstate 57 going north, where you see that big white truck going. You can see the little small car there, gray car going to my left, not that one there, but the other one. It's where we'll see this white look like PT Cruiser, and this big truck going past. That's southbound on Interstate 55. Today, I want to talk about a couple of things. It's all about unity when it all boils down. First, I want to say the government, most of the government is shut down because they celebrating, I guess, Christopher Columbus. But you know, me and my household has no respect for Christopher Columbus or the day that they're honoring Christopher Columbus. You see, if you do your history real well, in 1492, Christopher Columbus came over to what they call the free land, sailing on these waters like this here. Three ships with a group of individuals on there that proved to be, when they came to a place that they claimed Christopher Columbus discovered. But history would show you Christopher Columbus didn't discover the new land. Christopher Columbus and them came over here and seen that the natives over here was friendly. They smoked their little pot. They drank their little alcohol, which, you know, history has shown us they couldn't really handle it. Speaking of the natives that was over here. You know, then when they left and headed back to Spain, they said that they built colonies. They said Christopher Columbus and his crews had captives. When you have captives, you holding people against their will. That means Christopher Columbus and them came over here. We know the history. They killed, they raped, they robbed. They even said that they had merchandise that they went back to Spain with, and the Queen and King of Spain honored Christopher Columbus and these band of rapists, murderers, and thieves, which the United States celebrate or honored him as being some type of hero. I can't see no native or no person of color or no human being that stand for justice and right honoring anything about Christopher Columbus. But I'm gonna leave it at that for right now. And those that don't like the YouTube video, just don't watch it. Because when I speak, it's facts. if I'm speaking something that ain't right and somebody show me that ain't right, I'm known to take down a couple of YouTube videos that I didn't want to take down, but I took down anyway for making one error. You see what I'm saying? But what I want to talk about now is, now we remember the police officer in Texas that said she thought she was in her apartment and shot and killed this young brother. I think he was 26 at the time. When she got convicted, he was 28. She thought she was in her apartment. Whether she thought that or not, I'm not God. I can't say what her thought was, but her thought just don't meet up to logic. But anyway, she shot and killed this individual. She got found guilty of murder. Texas happened to be one of the states, and it's really shocking that when you get found guilty of first-degree murder, the sentence started 5 years, from 5 to 99 years, or 99 years to life. The jury chose to give her 10 years. 10 days after a brother that was the neighbor of the guy who got killed by this white police officer, he ended up getting killed. He testified against him. But let me share this here now. This murder was nationwide, probably worldwide. People marched and protested against it. And I don't look down on them about that. I criticized it to the fact that police is on a high number of killing blacks unjustifiably, using the excuse that they thought they had some thought they had something. When I used to tell my mama, I thought you said come in at 8 o'clock. She said you thought like Lent. Lent thought he had to poop, but he had to defecate, but she didn't use those words. And had me to turn around and get that extension cord and getting it ready. But now, when Quan McDonald got killed, shot 16 times in Chicago, Illinois, by a white police officer. White police officer said he was coming towards the camera, showed he was going away from him. But they always try to find an excuse. He had a knife. With the guy that the police killed, they went and put a search warrant on his house. They should have been putting a search warrant on the police officer's house, but they said they found drugs in there. Whether he had tons of drugs in there, she didn't have a search warrant. That wasn't the reason why she said she was going there. But the bottom line is, God dealt with that. But now, here it is, when Quan McDonald got killed, the jury finds the police guilty of second-degree murder. They give him 6 years. Don't let this shock y'all. We protested. When I said we, black people and people that felt that what happened was wrong, protested. Now, when this 9-year-old Tyshawn Lee was murdered by 2 black gangbangers, I didn't see black folks, nor did I see a group of other nationalities getting together protesting about that. You protest when Trump trying to come to Chicago, but you ain't gonna protest because that was a 9-year-old black boy that got killed. Now, here it is, just Sunday, this past Sunday now, October the 13th, 2019, about 11:40 p.m., around 51st or 52nd in Peoria on the southwest side of Chicago, a female was parked in her car with two or three children in it. 3 black males came up to that car, shot out the back window, shot a 3-year-old child in the head now. I don't see no protesting so far. Now, We can't criticize all police. We can't criticize all white folks for what black folks is doing. Now, let me show you something that happened in this here. Now, the police was called. The female drove away from that area to try to get her to the safer spot. And when she did, called the police. When the police came in an unmarked car, most likely a detective when they unmarked cars, the police came and called in that a child has been shot. And they were sending an ambulance. You know what he did? And he sounded like he was white. He didn't sound like a black police officer, whether he was white or black or not, but he was a police officer. And I don't care who don't like it. I give him high honors. The city should give him high honors. Black folks should give him high honors. He got that child and put him in his car and rushed him to the closest trauma center where they was able to do surgery and get the bullet out the 3-year-old child's head. I don't know if the 3-year-old child is still alive or not, but he got that child. He knew every second counts. I worked on the ambulance. Every second counts. A 3-year-old with a bullet in his head because 3 ignorant black folks out there coming up to a car. If that grown woman did something to you, you should have kicked her one out if that was the case. What you gonna shoot some innocent kids for? You see, I'm gonna see if there gonna be some protesters, y'all. And I'm gonna see how many people gonna say, like they did when the young guy got killed in Texas by the police and his brother asked, can he hug the lady? He got a right to ask what he wanted to ask. That was his brother. If he God-fearing and he felt that God led him to hug the lady that killed his brother, that's him. Just like me. I know what it is to be a criminal. I used to be one. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not a criminal no more. You see what I'm saying? I'm not a racist. I give honor where honor is due. You see how these things is sitting up? That's my security, y'all. That's my security. It ain't no standoff. You see how they getting in the water? They know I come in peace. The only one think that I don't come in peace or afraid of me or afraid of my voice or afraid of my presence is white supremacists and anybody else that's misusing other human beings, whether it's black or any other nationality. But I just want to say this here, that police might have been able to save that 3-year-old's life. We don't know if the 3-year-old gonna survive or not, but I want to know if the people gonna try to get in the streets. These black lawyers, they run up when these blacks get killed by police, acting like that they really concerned about the black person being shot by the police. But that ain't the case. They thinking about money. And some of these people who family members is being killed by these police unjustly, unjustifiably, need to stop just selling for money first. Because when you settle for money first and forget about it and don't try to get these police prosecuted, then they gonna go out there and kill somebody else, and that go to show you ain't really concerned if the shoe fit where. You ain't concerned about the police killing somebody. You concerned about trying to get paid for the homicide. Where's all the attorneys now? This 3-year-old been shot by 3 ignorant blacks out there. You see, blacks ain't gonna speak up against that. Some blacks now, but I'm gonna speak up about it. Don't care who don't like it. You see what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna even say 90%. Majority of the blacks that's getting killed in the United States is by other blacks, unjustifiably. Think about that, y'all. Then think about giving honor where honor is due. That police didn't have to put that 3-year-old child in his squad car and take her to the hospital. He could have waited on the ambulance, but he didn't. I worked in the medical field. When I was told to take a person to one hospital and I knew the hospital wasn't a trauma center, you see what I'm saying? I took them to a one that was close, but one that was a trauma center to be able to help them. Why would you take a person, you see what I'm saying, in critical condition to a hospital that's just used to doing first aid, and you got that in Chicago. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Over on Central, right off the expressway on the west side, off the Congress Expressway, or the Eisenhower, whatever you want to call it. Loretta Hospital, St. Bernard Hospital. I ain't gonna name no more. Peace be still.